you had a debate with your college professor who became your partner.
Business school professor.
Okay, and it started out as a debate that we've all had between Coke and Pepsi,
well,
right?
It was more about looking at the whole industry, and what he asked, well, Coke and Pepsi are such huge companies. They have thousands of products they sell in different varieties and packages. Is there any opportunity in the beverage world? Is there anything missing? And that's where, my hand shot up and said, yeah, there's all these sweet drinks, there's all these watery drinks, but there's nothing with enough flavor to taste good and where you don't have to sort of purse your lips because it's so sweet.
And what was the one thing, though, that got you to say, let's do it, let's go for this? Because a lot of people will go to the store and not find something they like and not think...
I had an entrepreneurial edge. I was ready to do something, and I'd had other ideas that some of which, had even gotten investors interested in funding. I won a business plan competition for a biotechnology company in business school, but I knew as much as it was a good business idea, it wasn't something I was excited about. And so I definitely had never sort of envisioned myself being a beverage entrepreneur, but when I sort of put together that entrepreneurial itch, the missing opportunity on the beverage shelf, and I'm like, well, I could do this. And sometimes what you don't know is scary, sometimes what you don't know helps you, and in this case, I think because I had no existing assumptions about how to make a beverage, it was probably an asset to bring.
Yeah, you had some missteps when you tried to brew and
missteps. Well, the first thing we said is, the very first one was, well, how come we're going to use real tea leaves? Most of the bottled tea out there is like Tang. You add powder to hot water, you stir it, and you call that tea. There aren't tea is leaves that grow on bushes, and we said, well, let's take the leaves from the bushes, dry them out, put that in water, and then put that in a bottle. And we said, why aren't other people doing that? We found out there were some pretty good reasons. It's
cost, probably.
But it's hard to do. You have to filter out the leaves, and it was a very complicated, costly process with a lot of missteps along the way. Our first bottles used to have about an inch of just tea leaf sediment on the bottom, and we've improved our filtration since then. But that was one of the challenges, and we had. The other challenges were most everyone else uses high fructose corn syrup as the sweetener, and it's real easy. You just bring up a truck, you pump a hose into a tank, and that's your sweetener. And we said, no, we're going to use organic honey or organic cane sugar. And so we would, open up these big bags and pour that in and dilute it, and it cost more, it took more time. But like I say, at the end of the day, we came up with a product that was real tea, that tasted like tea, that wasn't super sweet and had the real health properties of tea. So it was a lot of extra steps, and had I known, I probably might have done it differently. But without those assumptions, I think we ended up with a product that is very different from what else is out there.